Welcome to the Real Talk with Missy and Fabio.
The honest side of real estate with all you must know to survive in this market.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Missy and Fabio. Welcome to our show, I would say. Today we have a special guest that I really love him. This guy, I know him for like 2 or 3 years. And he's been always in the everything about the community. You can call and you're going to see Phill there. He's always around. So welcome, Phill.
He's the mayor of Fredericksburg.
Yeah, in a way, yes, it is.
What do you call yourself? A serial
networker.
Nice.
I don't call myself, somebody dubbed me that.
Nice.
Here's to you, Dave.
Nice.
And I used to call him Tom Selleck.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh.
Tall, skinny, and sexy.
Yeah.
Wow. Keep talking.
Well, anyway, we're just super excited to have you, and we want you to tell us a little bit about your world. And we actually visited a little bit yesterday, so anything I asked him, any question I had, he knew somebody that I needed to talk to.
I'm that guy.
So I would love to have you elaborate a little bit, started your past and your kids and how you ended up here.
Well, I grew up a poor child
with no shoes, and you walked 30 miles to school.
Uphill both ways.
Yeah, in the snow.
So I've been around a while. You know, I'm born and raised in Pittsburgh. Came here about 35 years ago. Actually, the same weekend Saddam Hussein moved into Kuwait. I came into Fredericksburg, so I'll always remember.
Damn, well, that was much more pleasant on this end, I'm sure.
That's kind of a good point, you know.
Yeah, well, I'll always remember.
You makes them look good.
You always know
sure.
where you are at certain times of history, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And I've always, I started in the graphic arts market. I have a degree in graphic communications, and I was a technical support guy for Polaroid, and there was a scanner manufacturer up in Springfield, Virginia, and that's what moved me into Virginia, and that was called Isomet. Isomet still makes little diodes and things like when you do over shopping. And there's probably an Isomet component in there.
Okay.
So we did the big rotary drum scanners, if you remember that back in the day. That was just, we could go on for stories with that, but it was actually great. I got to see the whole country. Actually went to Germany for a trade show so I got to see a lot, and that really got me into sales. I was the application engineer, and I always said the salespeople would lie about it, and then I'd have to make it come true.
Nice.
So then all of a sudden I stumbled backwards one day, and they said, "Hey, why don't we make you the sales manager?"
And you went, oh no!
So you're going to make it the truth.
And I was like, okay. So my sales have always been based in technical support. I always like to say I sell a solution, not just products. So I went from heavy metal, where I had big equipment, from your little desktop printer to one that's 16 feet long, to all the materials then that go with those type of printers and things. So I got a good design background. I have a good product background.
And a mechanical sort of background too.
Well, I tell you, I do love mechanics. I love watching a machine operate. A railroad, something like that, where you have. And you ever watch a printing press print with the sucker
cat
feet?
sits there and just.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about a big press.
A big one. Yeah,
like a newspaper.
Yeah, very interesting. So that's where I cut my teeth. And again, I've always been in sales. So I guess it was about 10 years ago I met Chris Frederick at Coins for Anything. It was called For Anything, and they had a lot of different stores. They had shirts for anything, lanyards for anything, coins for anything, signs for anything. And with my side background, he said, "Hey, you could be our sales rep for all the stores," but all the stores were in one building. And it was great because
all the stores were in one building?
Yeah, it was just an internet place, but so everything was reside under one roof.
Very cool.
But I got to go out as saying, "Oh, you need that? I'm your guy. You need that? I'm your guy." And Chris actually introduced me to business networking. I thought networking was taking two computers and making them talk together, right?
This is much more fun though.
Much more fun. And I remember the day like yesterday. He said, "Go to the BNI meeting and drink the Kool-Aid." And I did. I took a big glass of Kool-Aid, and I was like, you know what? I like this giver's gain approach. I like to provide. I'm already a solution provider. It just fit my personality.
Cool.
And as I worked and I got older, I found I'm not a very good employee.
Are any of us?
So I reestablished my PhillWill company right at the start of COVID,
I remember that.
and I just reestablished as before. PhillWill was a print broker, so because of my connections in the printing world, I was able to do printing for people. And interesting enough, when the planes hit the buildings on September 11th, so did my billables. So that put me back in the business world. So now I'm back to doing PhillWill, and COVID hits. I'm like, oh my God.
So PhillWill, what's your tagline then, basically?
What if you hear a business owner ask who will, you
PhillWill.
let them know
That you're
PhillWill.
here.
Right.
Very cool.
Exactly. So, so it was really just a great expression of myself. I get to be me every single day. I go out and I talk with people. I have that giver's gain approach. So like yesterday when you talked about the things that you need, I'm like, hey, let me get you an email. And then we made 5 new friends for you.
Yes,
right?
we did.
So and hopefully things
Good
will
stuff
work
will
out
come
well.
out of
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Because that's what we want to do, right? We want to meet each other and make each other better,
Yeah, that's true.
right?
And help each other in their business.
It was someone told me you need to pray, believe, and do acts of loving kindness. And I think, you know what, there's nothing wrong with that,
That's
right?
true, that's true,
If
that's
that's
true.
all we have
Yeah.
to do,
Check.
yeah,
Right?
that's easy. So each day I get to go about being me and helping people. And so for my clients, I can be a couple different things. What I like to do is I say it's a Gemini project. Missy, you can't be in 2 places at one time.
No.
We'd like to be,
Yeah.
Fabio. You
Yeah.
can't be in 2 places at one time. But somebody with a little bit of intelligence could recite your 5 qualifying questions while they're standing at a table while you're off doing a closing because I said I would go to this event and stand at the table that night.
Okay.
So I have a realtor shirt and I say, hey, and I write it down and then there it is, right? So it's a Gemini project.
So you could do that for us.
I do, right, that's exactly
okay.
what I do for
That's-
people.
PhillWill.
And what's interesting is if I would be doing it for you, I wouldn't do it for another real estate
Right.
agent.
Right.
Because I do have exclusivity while you're there. But if you're not, if you decided, I like to have my clients stay on a quarterly process.
Okay.
So at the end of the quarter, you say, okay, our project's over, fine, we part friends, but I'll pick up another real estate agent.
I think that's nice to have someone else validate someone instead of me saying, "Oh, I am so great, hire me." To have someone else say, "Missy and Fabio are fabulous."
Yes.
That might be a little more
Well, think
positive way for someone to receive that.
I would say more reliable too, you
Yeah.
know, in a way.
think of me as your walking, talking Google ad.
Damn, I like that. I like that.
I never thought about that.
That's great.
Yeah, so right, that, and I just love meeting the different businesses. I've worked with security companies, I've worked with precious metal companies, I've worked with my website. I work with websites for anything. They're like my standard client.
Right.
They do all my website work. I help them. Fit20 is they call me their brand ambassador.
So
I
I've been
love
signed
that.
up for that. So
Oh,
we'll see.
you
I
did?
love that. Yes.
Jennifer
Yeah.
Church.
Yeah.
Yes, Jennifer, or I'm sorry, Rebecca.
Rebecca.
is a
Yeah.
wonderful trainer.
And she's this big.
She's this big, and I hope I can say this. Maybe we'll edit it out. But that little girl beats me up.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, she's really
Well,
good
you know,
at
if
what
you're going
she
to put
does.
in the time, it's so imperative to use it to its
Well,
fullest and make sure you get your
well,
money's worth.
Let me do the Fit20 ad for you then. It's 20 minutes once a week. You mean you can't really push it out for
No.
20 minutes?
Mm.
Exactly. So
love
today, 5 o'clock is mine. It's like a doctor's appointment
So do you
every
hurt?
week.
The next day, kind of?
Sometimes I'm a little sore, and sometimes it could be 2 days later.
Well, I
but
think
it's
your body have
never-
to get used to it.
And you have a trainer, so
Yeah.
the trainer is making sure you're doing it safely.
Okay.
So if you're really sore, then maybe
Something's not right.
right,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
something's
that's
not
true.
right. But I haven't experienced that. But I can tell you I've experienced a level of strength increase.
And this is really, it initially developed for old people.
for
to
ladies.
help
for,
osteoporosis
actually, it was
candidates
it
and-
was ladies 45 and over to
okay.
combat osteoporosis.
Okay.
And I thought, I have so much in common with ladies 45 and over. This is perfect for me.
Sign. Let me be your spokesperson.
Yes,
Correct.
yeah, exactly. Well, I like to say is, and if I think I walked in there the biggest skeptic in the world.
Of course.
I mean, I'm really surprised the guy continued to talk to me because Akil, the owner, he said, "Come on in. It's Fit 20 in 20 minutes." Sounds great until someone comes out with Fit 18.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually said that to him. That's how much of a skeptic.
I love that. So tell them a little bit about Fit 20 then and how it came to Fredericksburg.
Yeah, so this is my limited understanding of it, so forgive me if I'm wrong. Akil.
He's not held accountable for anything that is not the truth.
Who is the one that brought it from the Netherlands over here to the States. He brought the corporate headquarters right here in Fredericksburg.
And that's just,
And why? You're right. Why
Yeah.
Fredericksburg? Well, he has a professor that did franchise management that he in Georgetown. I believe it's Georgetown University. Again, this is my limited. I don't know.
This is an over 45 memory.
His name's Ben, and Ben is actually Rebecca Church's dad.
Oh, okay.
So Akil and Ben became very close friends. So Akil wanted to bring this over to the States, needed Ben's help, and Ben said, "If you want my help, headquarters got to be in Fredericksburg."
Oh, that's okay.
That makes a
Okay.
lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So and it's wonderful to see the studio. It's at Liberty Place.
It looks awesome.
It's referred to as the Taj Mahal because it is a little larger than a normal studio because it has a conference room
Very cool.
and the training for the franchises come to Fredericksburg.
So is there
for that.
one machine and one trainer? How does that?
One trainer and you go through 6 machines.
Okay.
And that studio is yours for that 20 minutes.
Okay.
So you don't have mirrors, you don't have loud music, you don't have, it's your trainer watching you
Every
do
time I
these
would go for my
exercises.
bench,
You're really
my
doing-
bench would be gone because 3 other guys
No.
needed that bench, and
No,
every
and-
day it would be gone. I'm
And,
like,
the trainer cleans the machine when you're done. You don't even have to do that.
Well, the most important, you have a training, they're going to say, please don't come on, do it.
Yeah.
What you need to do.
not to
It
say
is.
please. They're like, shh,
Yeah,
do
well,
it.
I'm trying to be
Well,
polite.
You know, it's interesting because I've used probably 6 different trainers because of the times when my wife and I we switched times and things like that. I can tell you every one of them are excellent,
Okay.
and I feel like they have the hardest job because maybe you're that person that wants to be pushed, and maybe you're the person that doesn't want to be
Yes.
pushed.
Right.
They have to know that.
We'll have to figure it out up front.
And what's even crazier is you may think you don't want to be pushed, and really you need it.
You need it.
Right.
You think you want to be pushed, and you really
When you
don't.
need-
So, and they have to figure it out because you
so
have
they're
to have a
also
good experience.
psychologists along with. They have to,
Well,
yeah, just like
yeah.
a bartender, a good bartender.
Exactly.
They got to read personalities
I wonder why you're always talking about bartenders.
because I think they have a
I would
really,
say coffee
I think
guys.
they have a really hard job.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because they really have to. They're more of a mixologist than a personality person and a counselor and everything else. Same with these guys.
I disagree.
Really?
I was a bartender for a while back in my younger days,
Yeah.
and I thought it was the best job, the easiest job. I couldn't
Because you
believe
just
I
give
get
people
paid.
trash.
No, you ask me for a drink, it's yours, and the deal is done. You go
No.
see you.
Not
You
our
call me-
bartenders. They
Well,
offer
I think-
render,
well, you can
render
call me-
counseling and whatever
Well,
else.
That could happen.
Yeah,
That
but
could-
I
and
think-
actually, I have a funny story about that I can't do on camera.
Oh, gosh.
It's a teaser.
Yes, you will. Yeah, do a 1-to-1 with me. I'll tell you something.
So you are definitely the entrepreneurial mentality. Do you think that people are born that out of that ilk, or
Hey, you know,
you just
I
get
guess
old and you
there's-
get tired of working for people and you decide I want to do my own thing?
You know what? I think that if somebody starts a business saying, I want to be my own boss, that's their first mistake. Because hopefully I have 100 bosses.
Well, the thing
Right?
is, you
Yeah,
usually
yeah.
are
You-
your worst boss. You are not meant to be your own boss.
Well, I am a very bad time manager.
Mhm.
But when I need to be, I'm really good at the gate. you know, from the start and at the finish. In the middle, I get kind of.
I go off the path a little bit.
Yeah, but I'll finish strong. I will
Okay.
finish strong because I started so strong. Yeah.
So those are these kids that are coming into, they're starting their own businesses, they're doing their own thing. You, or any of us really, because of COVID, I think our whole mentality has really changed a lot. A lot of people, they have to work from home, you know, or they've been told that they will work from home. A lot of people have retired, taken it early out, you know, and then they've started their own businesses. What do you think you can do to help them?
I'm for somebody in their second career that wants to start a business, I'm a great sounding board, and I have great connections for them to get started. It would be like if I met a new couple that was coming to the area, I have great resources. Real estate
Absolutely.
agents, insurance agents, you know, a financial advisor to help them, right? You're somebody who has a financial advice, they already have real estate, they're just starting a new gig, you know. And I talk to them each day when I work with websites for anything, because most of their clients are the people starting the business. So I have that discovery sheet. It's so exciting to hear what makes people do what they want to do.
Right.
I just talked to a guy yesterday who's retiring from the DOD, 38 years at DOD. He's been running background checks. He's been doing security.
Peace out, done, right?
He's starting his own security business.
But don't you think it's
Right.
is it like the
What?
transaction is kind of tough from being an employee for your whole life and then now being, you know, entrepreneur, let's say?
Well, I think I think that would be hard
Yeah.
because you have to be accountable to yourself.
Yeah.
If somebody hires me to be that yes guy, then they're hiring the wrong guy,
Yeah.
because my fault is I stick, instead of fingers in people's eye, I put usually hot sticks. and like, you know, people are like, well, you know, I'm like, I'm sorry, you asked my opinion. You asked what I thought. So I've learned recently not to be as direct, unless, of course, that's what they want, right? We have to feel the room. We have to know how they handle it. And sometimes we misjudge, right?
Well, I think people sometimes don't really even know what they want or need either. You know, you look at a physician who he doesn't run his office. He wants to see the patients. You know,
Right.
then God forbid they manage the money or the personnel. You really have to have that help underneath that's going to help you get where you want to do. I don't want to do all the crazy administrative stuff, you know, and it's important to know that you know your boundaries, or I guess know what you're really good at and what you're really not good
But
at.
I guess you have to understand what you need.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people think that they can do everything. So, you know, when they get oh
Who
gosh.
thinks
Well,
they can
this-
do everything?
And that's really, there's the big fault. I am doing everything. Everything's fine. Well, things are working.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, now I can't do everything anymore. How can I relinquish
Right.
that power?
To give it up, that's hard.
And that's, sometimes I'll meet with people to work on a strategy on how they can help relinquish.
That makes sense.
I'm not one to say this is how you run your Facebook campaign, but we'll talk about Facebook campaigns and I'll connect them with somebody that really understands it. We all have our own knowledge of it, but there's people that are actually certified in it.
Yeah.
Why not go to the professional?
Absolutely.
I have to talk about my Facebook.
Right?
Go ahead.
Go
No,
ahead.
I'm talking about to get an
I was
opinion.
gonna say you would talk to him
Go.
about
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna talk to him.
Right.
I-
It's, yeah.
It's hard because I think we have a mission that we love to do and what we want to do, but our mission too is kind of like yours, just connecting people. You know, the movers, the people that can fix the drywall, the people that can paint, do the carpet, do whatever before we put the house on the market. So
Another thing that I hear from a small business owner, they're inundated every day with a credit card processor, right? Can I get your let me just get 2 statements and we're going to get it, right? Well, they probably are paying too much in credit card fees.
oh, absolutely.
But are they going to stop each week and talk to somebody new? Of course not. But they need to talk to somebody.
Yes. Yes.
Sometimes they have an office manager that, okay, talk to my gatekeeper.
Right.
He'll take care of it, whoever
Right.
it is. Sometimes it's, you know what, I need somebody that I can trust, somebody that will act in my stead. He's not going to write the check, but somebody that can come back to me and say, I talked to these 5 credit card companies. These are the 2 that you should consider, and this is why.
Well, I look at
Right.
the new agents, like the new agents are crazy. They get bombarded by everybody and their brother as soon as they get their license. I don't know who sells out the, gives everybody the names and addresses. I'm sure it's a list you can buy somewhere.
Right? Somebody
But
bought
everybody's
it. Right?
getting slammed with these things.
Yeah.
And we're just trying so hard to keep everybody, don't do that, do not respond. I mean, once you respond, you're hosed.
What is really kind of funny is because you have so many information, it's overwhelming sometimes. As a real estate agent, I mean, they have to deal with that stuff and they have to deal with all the information. Like a Facebook, let's say. There's so many people that they're coach now.
Everybody's a
And,
host.
yeah, so and they tell you go this way, or post this today, or post that one time an hour, So it's a lot of overwhelming information because you don't know what to do.
Something I would suggest then, what a new agent is going to get bombarded with. So you let them know you're going to get hit with this, but we've already have this set for you.
Yeah.
Right.
If you need business cards, this is the person. You need your door locks, this is the person. You
Right.
need your signs, this
Yeah.
is, Don't mess. We've already done that. If they say, well, I have a cousin that makes signs, fine. Go use your cousin, but
Yeah.
this
Here's
way,
somebody we've already vetted, this person we trust, they'll take good care of you.
right, and then you're taking care of the
Absolutely.
scary part, right? And then
Absolutely.
those young agents are talking to each other, and they hear, "Oh no, Missy took care of that for me. Nah, Fabio warned me that was going to happen." That's all cool.
So for your business and your funnel, we all talking funnel mentality, your lead gen, your people that are coming to you, are they all just through word of mouth, through your sphere of influence?
Yes, it's word of mouth.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say pretty much 100%.
Okay,
Yeah.
pretty much 100%. That's pretty.
Yeah, I'm
That's what we
just-
need.
pretty-
That's what we need.
I'm thinking to myself now, like, who's contacted me from my website that I had no idea about,
Right.
and I would say that it's all been from someone.
So this is kind of a trick
So-
question since you work for a website company. Do you really feel like a website is imperative, that everybody have a website,
Yeah.
a place to direct people for basically the basic information about your
Right.
business?
So my feeling is a website is first because it allows you to create a relationship when you're not there.
Okay.
It gets to tell them who Fabio is, right? I don't know. Are there more than one real estate agent in town?
Duh.
Well, exactly.
Yes.
You could swing a dead cat and hit 10.
But
right?
when you
I mean,
put it
it's-
out there,
right? So if somebody comes to your site, whether I send them to it or you send them, or they just happen to be looking and stumbled on Fabio's site, why are they staying with you? Google has a term for that. They call it zero moment of trust. They say within 7 seconds, somebody's looking at a page and going, no, let me go back to the search engine. Find another credible
person.
source. Why didn't they stick with you?
why not? Why do you
Right.
think most
Yeah.
often people move on?
So there is a theory, there's a philosophy of 16 must-haves, and websites for anything follows that philosophy. These are things: hero images, frequently asked questions, where your map is, like where you work at. There's lots of things that people will just go, "Oh, he's in Richmond." No, I'm in Fredericksburg. It just, I don't know why they stuck me in Richmond. Well, you need to fix it because
Right. Yeah.
So there's lots of little things to do. And all you hear about is being number one on the Google list, right? You're number one. If we had a computer right now and we said realtor in Fredericksburg,
Somebody from Prince William comes up, I'm pretty sure.
whoever spent the most
Exactly.
money,
That's
comes
because
up
she
first.
has
That's gonna
spent
go
the
first.
most money.
and then you have to look at that and say, can I outspend this
Is it worth it?
person? No, there's some big hitters, right? There's some big corporate
Yes.
ones, right?
Yes.
Where you want to be is if I'm in Fredericksburg and I search realtor Fredericksburg, realtor near me, I want you in the map,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
This guy's only 2 miles away from me.
Yeah.
Let me click his website.
Okay.
Right? And then you build a relationship.
Okay.
You got to grab their attention. You got to hold it. Another way, a great way, is community involvement.
Mm-hmm.
I know how much you folks do in the community, but you're humble people, right? You'll post a little something on Facebook, maybe I'm here, but nobody's really seeing the good that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what your website's for.
Okay. Because then you're not the one spewing it.
Yeah.
It's visual on that site.
It's
okay.
somebody is getting there and
Okay.
saying, "Oh my God, they love dogs. I love dogs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're helping veterans. I love veterans. I want to work with them." You
Okay.
know, sure, say habla español. Of course, right? Of course, you want to do all your certifications.
Okay.
You know, you go to school and you have classes and right
Yes.
testimonials.
Yep.
You know, how many of you have a Google page?
Oh, you have, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot
She's
of
been telling me
reviews?
to do it.
Do I
Do you have a
more?
lot of reviews?
Only about 15.
How long have you been in business?
Forever. But you can't transfer them. You have to have your people specifically go to.
Yeah, right,
Gee.
exactly. You can't like if
And no
somebody
matter how
writes.
happy you make somebody, guess what? They probably won't go unless you beg them or hold the phone up in front of them and do a video when you
Well,
close.
there's ways, and that's strategy we can talk about.
Strategery.
Is how exactly how to get them to leave the review, because some people go to Kelly Electric, see how many reviews he has.
Is he one of your clients?
No,
Oh.
he's my electrician.
Okay.
Because as soon as he leaves his place, you'll get a text saying, "I hope everything's great. Take a moment and leave me a
I
Google
love
review."
that. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's automatic. He didn't do it in his van.
Right.
He checked into some software that said he was done.
And that makes a lot of sense because
Right?
everything we're gonna buy or anything online, we're gonna check the review.
Mm-hmm.
We do it.
QR codes,
Yeah.
big deal now.
We use QR codes. I use
Please,
them on my
please,
card.
while you're thinking of it, please clean this, and maybe you could do it with them. Say, hey, just leave me a sentence or two.
Well, you know, people are super happy and they want to give and they want to do, but it's just out of sight, out of mind. That deal is
That-
closed. Boom.
As
So
soon as they
yeah, they're done.
And honestly, you're on another deal.
yeah.
That's why you need some kind of automation. Okay, word for 2022, automation.
Automation.
There's something that has to go
Yeah,
back
that's
to
true.
these people,
That's
right?
true.
And maybe it's 45 days later because
I think
all
it should.
the
I think it should be, hey, we're ratified. We got a ratified contract. Hey, home inspection's done. Hey, you got, you know, we're almost to
tell
closing.
Google how great this process is.
Well, that's
going.
how we really should approach it, I think, in increments of each, divided up into 4 different things, and then we're done. High five, we're out. You
That's
know,
it.
so
Exactly.
here, talk to Google.
Yes, yes,
So.
and that's great in the process. But you're involved in that process.
Correct.
It's easy for you to do
Automate
that.
it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And right afterwards, everybody's high and giggly. That's a great time for review. And honestly, 45 days later, when you are out of mind,
I
And
always
you-
call, though.
it's great that you
Yeah.
would reach out. And if they're still high and wonderful, say, could you please take that moment? I know you said you would and you didn't have a chance.
I'll stay on the phone while you let's just make sure you get there.
See, I'm a little more direct. I'll say, you told me you were going to do it.
Guilt
and you
them
didn't.
into it. I like
Can
that.
you are you going to do it this time? You do it with a smile,
I like
right?
that. I
You
like
know,
that.
but I am more, and you do that.
And nod your
I-
head when you're saying, are you going to do it?
Exactly. So, if you go to my Google page, I have 15 reviews, but that's just been in the last 8 months.
Okay.
You know.
Well,
and-
we'll task you.
yeah.
Yeah, that's,
No, I love it. I
that's
love
true.
it.
We need that. Gonna get lost.
We do, but and I think because we are inundated with real estate agents now, you know, everybody who lost their job got a real estate license. So
I think we were at the chamber thing. The yeah, it was you. This young girl. Hi, how are you? Real bubbly. Gives me her card. She's a new agent in town. Do you know Fabia? No. And I introduced you guys. I said, there you go. There's it must be the easiest and the hardest job because it must be easy because there's so many of you.
Yeah, that's
Well,
it.
there's not so many to make it.
No, no,
That's the
no,
problem.
no,
So many are not making
Yeah,
money,
no, I
which
mean,
is
it's-
really hard. So this over this
it's all-
next year, the depletion of numbers is going to start. I think really because it's hard, and if there's not that many listings and the buyers are kind of slowing down a little bit, interest rates going up, I think that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to go back to the
Well,
9 to 5.
I think we were talking yesterday how deflating it is for an agent to have 8 different contracts
and lose those 8.
and lose them all.
Yeah, it's been
Right?
hard as a listing
That's-
agent to tell people I'm so sorry, you know, and then and it's not that they didn't write the best contract they could for their client, but it's
Just
a dimes, it's a
somebody
money
else.
game that beat them out most always.
And
so.
sometimes they don't understand that we are not making the decision.
Correct.
It's our client, you know, even that we try to do the best, you know, for everybody, but the client is the last call. So we don't.
So what do you think? You're like the man of town as far as what do you think about our market? What do you think for small businesses and the growth of Fredericksburg and real estate? Let your crystal ball out here. Let's
All
see
right,
what
well,
you think.
I simply just love being in Fredericksburg. I'm a townie. I live downtown. I love to be part of anything in town. I'm focused. I focus on a local business, right? We're not going to have coffee at Starbucks.
No.
We're not going
I
to get a
love
sandwich at Panera's. We're just not going to do that. I want to be downtown. I want to help out. I want to do that. Now let me be a little controversial. I feel like the city officials make it very difficult for business to thrive.
You're not the first
and-
person I've heard say that.
Yes, and if you ask for an example, I'd have to say talk to these 5 business people who tried opening a store or has opened a store.
Is it
Restaurants.
the building, like the building owner though, or do you really feel like it's the town?
It comes from
guidance,
code,
the government.
code
Permit
and permits, and this needs to get done. And what do you mean this has to get done? You didn't tell me that when this needed
Right,
to
while
get
you
done.
redid the whole inside.
You know, and that's just.
Do you think people just aren't on the same page?
Well, I'm just saying, it just seems like bureaucracy says, let's throw a wrench into this right now.
Right.
You know.
Sad.
Yeah, I mean, there's, without naming any business names, but I'd love to see like some other delis or something
The
downtown.
one on the corner that told,
You
oh,
know.
I'm so sorry, you don't have another door here. You can't open this beautiful building you've just renovated.
The old theater. Why is that empty?
How fun would that be?
I mean, I thought there was going to be cooking classes and fresh vegetables and open
Yeah,
market
yeah,
and
yeah.
like,
We need that.
I mean, just, you know,
What's
it's
that?
pretty exciting. Like, what happened?
Right.
You know, sure, we hear things, but something happened.
Yeah.
What happened? Yeah, the candy store that's on the corner that's empty. I don't know. It just seems like that guy wants an empty building. So I don't know what happened there.
Maybe
either.
he's using it as a write-off or something.
Thank God, honey. Thank God,
Honey Mead.
Honey Mead came into that. I would look at that place and think, oh my God, I would love
The
to
wood layout is
do
beautiful.
something
Yeah,
there.
what they did was
But
gorgeous.
Yeah,
but
we
again,
need-
it
we
was
need more
empty
business,
for
that's
the
for sure.
longest time. There's a little old barber shop right down the street from Honey Mead, same side of the road. What's happening with that? I don't even see a real estate sign on it.
That's weird.
It would be just a cool place for something,
Yeah.
right?
Maybe we'll take a tour of all the empty
That's a good idea.
commercial buildings downtown, and he can help
end,
us.
Well, that
Yeah.
end,
bring
that
to
end
light
of
some of the
Princess
stuff.
Anne
Yes.
seems to be forgotten. You got Spirelli, Red Dragon, right? So that's nice.
Yeah.
But there's nothing that's drawn people to keep walking up to Honey Mead.
Yeah.
And then Ike and Rita's.
Yes,
You know?
I can read us as fun.
Ike and Rita's is a great place. Now, they're an afternoon shop. It's not going to be in the evening, but there's a beautiful art gallery there. You know, so there's lots of things to do.
I think
How are
that'd
we
be fun.
getting
We'll
up
do a
there?
little walking tour of all the vacant places in town, and maybe people just don't know though. But I think a lot of times people are coming here to live, and they like the small town mentality. Do you
Right.
think it's the older crowd that's keeping things down, or do you people just come into town and they don't really understand what's available? They don't even know what's available.
It seems like Richmond, that's every bit as old as we are,
Correct.
is a lot more creative. You know, there's
Their
more.
leadership, maybe.
There seems to be more street things going on. You know, we
Well,
have
that's
that
what Fabio
beautiful.
has said more times. He goes, "This part of town is ugly. You know, they should put flowers in the center or bring hanging things or something
Look,
just to
yeah,
light
we
it
need
up
We
to
a
give a
little."
shout out to Tree Fredericksburg.
Yes,
They do a
really.
great job of, but they can't. You know, they can't do everything, right?
Right.
But there are areas where maybe we should get together and say, you know what? Let's talk to 10 of our friends and get $150 and plan something.
I think that's a great idea that we
You
can
know,
do that.
because
Something like
sometimes
that.
it takes somebody to do
Yeah.
something.
Absolutely.
But like where 2530 is down there at the train station, great area. But what else is there?
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
Some good homes. There's a lot of people walking around.
Yeah, it's just like everything is just one here, but then it's another one here, but then that's it.
Well,
And then you,
So how can we tie them all together to get everybody walking around?
yeah,
You know.
that's true. And this is a beautiful city, to be honest. This is amazing.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I mean, I'm a little. I don't really
Biased.
understand the river park.
Right.
I thought that it seems like a boondoggle, but I'm excited to see it open and go use it. And
When is it? It's open.
21st.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
I
it's
think it's like open, but
Sorta
the
open.
official
Yeah, the
opening.
official.
Okay.
So I really want to wait to hear the fanfare. Like I waited for the bridge. Did a great job on the
Yeah,
bridge.
it's beautiful.
But you know, we have to, like, that idea was great, that maybe we can have a group of people and get some flowers and put them on, you know, on when you get to the city and all that stuff, because it's the face of the city, and everybody, you know, we want it to be beautiful.
Yeah, and you know, at the train station 35 years ago when I came to town, it was a lot different than what it is now. You know, it was really run down.
Come a long ways, but
Yeah.
a long ways still to go. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So
But I understand there's apartments going in on the parking lot at the Irish Brigade. That big parking lot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that.
And we have new townhouses a little bit further up on Lafayette, which is nice. Those brand new, they run perpendicular to
Yeah.
Lafayette. Those are nice. But to me, it just seems like you're right. You have a little bit here and there, and people just don't. I don't know why people cannot pull it together and make sure that these businesses are like crazy successful.
And I'm sorry to bring this up, but you're real estate agents. Will the house on Sophia Street ever sell?
The big
And
one?
2 more will be built just like it next to it?
I don't know. I mean, to me, he's very. Well, it's high. Two point some mil.
2.2, right?
Yeah, it was under contract for a little while.
Probably been appraised.
Who knows?
Probably. But I mean, the hard thing is that to me, that building just doesn't fit in our.
Well, it is the
In our
warehouse.
town.
It is the warehouse space, just like the other house that's up the street.
Yeah.
It looks strange, but if you look at 1940s, 1950s warehouse, which is part of the historic section. The historic section isn't just 1800s.
I don't know though.
You
How did
know,
it get
I mean-
approved?
Because
It's the warehouse look.
right.
Yeah. Well, I don't think warehouses were blue. Just saying.
This is what I mean. There's questions.
Well, the
that
thing
come
is, it
up,
would have
but-
already sold. You know, if it
And-
was.
And what's interesting is it's slated for 2 more just like it.
We'll see.
So.
We'll see. I think our riverfront is beautiful. I think it has. There's still a lot of opportunity.
All right, let me talk about the river. It is the jewel of this area. I kayak all the time, and if you go from Mott's Run down to the city, it's just the most beautiful stretch of river.
Aren't there big rocks?
Yeah, so you go around them, you bump
We have to
into
do something
'em.
like that in video.
Sometimes you fall out of the boat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, you get wet.
Are they
you
those-
have a
Well,
life
that's
jacket.
okay. Yeah, that's
You
good.
have a life jacket. I don't know what the statistic is, but I think very few people have drowned wearing life jackets.
I'm pretty sure unless they wonk their head, then they float up to the top
I
anyway.
think even then, right, they still float with their face
So
out.
didn't they blow up, what was the dam
bridge,
that was
yeah,
there
the
when they
dam,
blew the
right.
dam up? As I understand it, because we used to take the river boat, but it's so shallow now because of the silt that now has widened the river. The water has gotten so wide and shallow that you can't get a boat down there anymore. Is that?
You can't get a big river boat. No, City Dock is as high as, well,
Is
actually
it?
probably the falls.
Okay.
Right there at Falmouth Landing, they call that.
Mhm.
I guess that's the biggest you'll get a boat.
Because there used to be Captain, what's his name? I don't know. Now he's gone down to Tappahannock, I think. But there used to be a riverboat, and it was fun because you like a evening tour, wine and something.
Well, you could
was
still
fun.
do that up to City Dock, you know, or go
But
at
he's-
City Dock and then motor down.
So that's another business
That's
someone
all
can do.
good.
Come into town, bring your.
I love
Fun
the
boat.
river. I love to fish. I love to walk it.
Tell us about
swim.
shad fishing.
Shad fishing's fun.
What the
When-
hell is shad fishing?
Shad, if they're in the water, all you gotta do is
So
throw
they
out a little
run.
hook and
They run like now, right?
No, it's
a little
over
bit.
now. It's
Okay,
over
end of
now.
April, mid-April to
mid-April,
now.
I would say.
Yeah, you see all these guys
Mid-April.
out there. I went down on the other
Yeah.
side and took videos of people and their waders, you
Yeah.
know, and I asked one gentleman, I'm like, so what do you do with a shad when you keep it? He goes,
We'll
I'll throw
keep
it
it."
back, ma'am.
Yeah,
I was like, okay. So as I understand it, though, is it an oily fish that you can smoke?
oily and bony, from what I hear.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah.
So you don't really eat it.
No, the only fish I think I would eat if I caught was a salmon.
But
And-
not out of heat. We don't have
Well,
salmon.
we don't have salmon.
No.
I'm saying if I'm in the Great Lakes and
Okay,
I catch one, I'll
okay.
probably keep
Okay.
that. You know.
Well, cool.
Yeah, but if you read they tell you if you're pregnant or under 12, you shouldn't eat it more than once a month
Oh.
because of the mercury. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
I
do I
don't-
really want to
do
eat
I
this?
wanna-
Yeah, I don't want to eat that.
Yeah,
So
you know,
speaking of mercury and fish and goodness or not goodness, our butcher in town. You know, Randy and I are big fans. I go by twice a week at least, and because it's just the two of us, so I kind of shop day by day or every other day. They have the best salmon. I just cooked it in the oven and used a convection oven, which I've never used. We just have a new one, and it does a damn good job. It's beautiful.
well, and isn't it great that we have a butcher here in
Amen.
the
We're
city?
so lucky.
Yes,
So but they
I'm-
need to take the picture down of the cow. They used to have the cow's picture that was here. And I'm like, I think that little cow the picture needs to go down. But I'll take three of those, please.
But let me tell you, we need more restaurants here
yeah,
around
we do.
here.
We really
That's
do.
for sure.
Yeah, well, we definitely need a vegan restaurant.
Yes.
I missed the.
So I volunteered to take him to dinner, and he goes, we have a little different eating habits now. And I'm like,
I'm so
okay.
weird at eating. I never know it.
So he's gone vegan.
But I'd love
that's
to go
great.
out for drinks.
Oh, drinks, yeah.
okay.
It's fun when the doctor said you should be on a plant-based diet. His voice turned into like the teacher on Peanuts. He started going
Wah,
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 wah, wah.
because I'm thinking to myself, beer's grain, whiskey's grain. Okay, all right, tell me more. And then like his voice came back.
I love it. Well, with that, maybe we'll end and go to happy hour one time, but we want to thank all of you all. And
And thank you for having me.
You're
It's
so
been
funny. It's
wonderful.
good.
Well, it's
We're-
interesting. Somebody said, my wife said, why are they interviewing you? I said, I was afraid to ask.
well, we're just tickled to have you in our life, and you keep surfacing again and again. And
Well-
Fabio's like, oh my God, that Phill, he's amazing.
Well,
So
Well, I'd be more than happy to introduce you to some more amazing people for you to talk to.
thank you,
Thank you.
ever
thank
so
you,
much.
Thank you.
Right,
And with
thank
that, we love having you all. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments, and please subscribe, push that button.
And remember, if you don't know who will,
Phill! Bye, y'all.
Goodbye, guys.
High five. Yes, thank you so much.
thank you.
Awesome.
So glad you joined us today.
Please message us on Facebook, and Fabio and I will respond to all your questions as soon as possible,
Find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast.
or anywhere you listen to your podcast.